Jeez, calm way down. I actually have to get inside the den with the bear to crawl in, and then I pay really close attention to their behavior to make sure the bear isn't too aggressive.
Oh, this is so scary.
All I have is a pole that has a syringe on the end to administer the sedative.
I don't want him to go any deeper. Okay, he's going deeper. What? This is so scary.
So Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah was having some bear incidents, and they were starting to actually come into contact with people. So my team consisted of myself and my little brother, and we had to place GPS collars on bears in order to find out how and where they live. We did that so that we could help the park potentially change locations of campsites or just make their campsites safer for visitors and for bears. Every morning we'd go out and we'd either place traps or we'd check traps that we'd already placed. When we used to sedate the mom, sometimes the cubs start crying and they get a little nervous. So we would hold the cubs to keep them warm, keep them quiet while we're working on the mom. You'd kind of have to hold those cubs, and that would be one of the best parts of my job. During winter, we have to go into their dens to check on the collars that we placed, make sure they're not running out of battery, make sure they're not too tight, and we do that so that we can continue monitoring those collars. This was a challenging part of the project, but knowing that we're doing this so that they can survive in that area and that they can live long, happy lives is something that makes that worth it. Something I really love about bear conservation is that if you're protecting bears and conserving bears, you're actually conserving huge areas of land and wilderness, and then all the other animals that live there as well. I've been really lucky to have that kind of unique career where I interact with all these different kinds of animals. I get to observe them in their habitat, and hopefully I get to help them have kind of a more worry and stress-free life. Collaborated with Great Big Story on our Mission Wild series in order to educate people about wildlife and conservation and the biologists that are working hard to save different species. I've had the opportunity to work with biologists who live on top of mountains, who are researching and catching hawks and falcons and eagles, releasing them and tracking their migrations, and making sure their numbers aren't dropping. Another project I recently worked on involves some sea turtles, and those scientists were capturing sea turtles, mounting a camera on their back, and for a few hours releasing them back in the water to see where the turtles are spending their time, what they're eating, where they're sheltering, how much plastic they're coming in contact with, and how they're interacting with other turtles. And those things are really important data for them when they're making decisions about their conservation. We really can learn a lot from animals. There's a lot out there we don't know that they can teach us. Now, in a perfect world, my job would just consist of kind of learning about animals and learning what they're doing, rather than fighting to save them and protect their habitat. And I hope that someday we can get back to that where we're not just so focused on saving them, but we can actually learn a lot more.